Who's got the greatest swing of all time? That's what we're going to talk about in this episode. We're going to examine thoroughly the greatest swing ever and explain to you exactly how it's going to help your game. Who's the greatest swing of all time? Always wore a straw hat. And his name, Sweet Swinging, Samuel Jackson Snead. Let's examine his swing. Where do we start with Snead? We'll start at the top of his head and go all the way down to the bottom of his feet. We're going to do the head, and we're going to do the feet, and we're going to talk tempo. Nobody in golf had their head in position all the way through the swing better than Sam Snead. Most golfers move their head on the backswing. In other words, they get back here like this, and the head actually moves further than you think. But what happens when you get back here? The tendency is to move the head forward. If the head moves forward, there goes the upper body. It's a horrible swing. Sam kept his head absolutely in place. It was like his head was in a box. And he would take it away like this with the head in the box, swing through at impact. His head would not move forward till after he struck the ball. It was magnificent, a steady head, a head in a box. When you take it away, keep that head right in that box. Watch Sam Snead. Watch him as his head just stays there until he strikes the golf ball. The head, the head, the head. That's where it begins with Snead. Everything else is great. He has a squat as he comes down like this, which I don't know if anybody can ever emulate. It's the head and the takeaway. He settles in with that squat on the downswing, and then the head stays there and he releases. But what about the feet? I said from top of the head to the bottom of the feet. Well, we got to take off our shoes. Whoa, you watch my feet barefooted, and we're going to show some video, but watch, oh my goodness, this feels good. I can't hit a ball any better than that. But watch how the feet, you can feel them active.
Sam, what's a simple solution for the average player to stop from overswinging?
Well, Bob, overswinging is very difficult to stop. And I found out one way that you can stop that. Take your shoes off and hit a few barefooted. And that's one good way to cut your backswing down, so then you swing within yourself about 85%.
You mean you can hit a golf ball with your shoes off?
Heck, I learned barefooted. Now, if you'll notice, you can turn your toes up like that. Your weight is always balanced between the ball of your foot and your heel. So you pivot on the inside of your feet like that. See, my toes haven't come on the ground. And you can do that, and you can play golf. You'd be surprised how much better your balance is. Try that sometime. Just turn your toes up and pivot from inside of your feet and work that way a few swings.
So if you keep your head still like this and you're using your feet in the swing, you're going to hit it as sweet and as beautiful as Snead, except for one thing. The sweet swinger had tempo. A lot of people think tempo is swinging slow. Ernie Els, Freddie Couples, they have great tempo. I want to tell you this, two of the fastest swingers of all time. Arnold Palmer, Lanny Watkins had great tempo. What? What are you saying, Ironman? Yes, tempo doesn't have to do with the speed of the swing. Tempo has to do being in every position in the right sequence. In other words, you take it away, you're right here. Arnie was, you get to this position, you get down to this position, this hitting position, and on through. Everything is in sequence. That's what tempo is. Now, if you can add Sam Snead to it, where I took a lesson with my wife, a dance lesson, oh, it was wonderful. For instance, I learned to tango, T-A-N-G-O. But don't tango when you think of your golf swing. Sam Snead said he wanted his swing to feel oily, as it was well oiled. But he said also he wanted to feel like he was dancing to a waltz. Boy, you think about that, oily and a waltz. And you've got Sam Snead using your feet and your head.
Rhythm and tempo, same thing. Okay. And golf to me is timing and rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have rhythm in there, almost anything. In music, anything you do, it's rhythm. That's all I think about when I take the club back. All goes together. At my address, I have the forward press. That starts the whole business. The feet and the hands go back together. You roll off the inside of your feet. Like on your backswing, you roll off the inside of your left foot, and then in the follow through, you roll off inside of your right foot. It's common sense. It's just nice rhythm. All goes together. And if you get it all together, brother, you can play some golf.
I really, really like Sam Snead. We were, if not good friends, at least pretty good acquaintances. We had a fun relationship. Years ago, I was working at CNN Sports. Most people don't remember that CNN had a sports department. We did a half hour, Nick Charles and I, at 7 o'clock, 11, and 2 in the morning, kind of before ESPN Sports Center. That's how long ago it was. It was the Sunday before the Masters started. Sam Snead was going to be a half-hour guest, sponsored by his golf publication. And my dad and mom happened to be visiting in Atlanta, and I invited Dad, who was a huge Sam Snead fan, and Mom to come along and watch the taping. And it went really well. Snead was nice. Sam Snead also is very cheap. Always has been cheap and is known for that. He says, watch your nickels and dimes, boys, and never concede a short putt. After the taping, he invited all of us, thanks to the golf publication picking up the tab, to go out to dinner together. So imagine that. What a gift from me to my father to go out for a long 2.5 hour dinner with Sam Snead. And man, he regaled with great stories of playing an exhibition in South Africa with the legendary Bobby Locke, and Bobby Locke making a 60-foot putt on the last hole and winking at Snead when he shut him out. After it was over, we're driving back home to Marietta. And, well, Dad, what'd you think? Dad was just enthralled. I said, Mom, what did you think? She goes, well, you know what? I don't think he needed to use such colorful language. And Sam Snead, believe me, used colorful language. A couple years later, I was living in Nashville, and they had the Sam Snead Country Classic. Vince Gill played. I think Garth Brooks also played. And Snead is there on the first tee, announcing and needling, and I come up and he goes, well, here he is, supposed to be a great golfer. Here is the kid. He used to call me the kid. Kurt's for kid, I guess. Anyway, I said, let's see what you got. Remember I told you in one of our episodes about my relationship with Ben Hogan, how intimidated I was, and he was watching me hit on one hole, and I just choked terribly. With Snead, it was totally different. I was cocky, and I said, well, I'll show him. And I busted a big drive with a draw that was around a dog leg, and Snead goes, well, he says, kid's got it. I'll always remember that. I'm not a kid anymore, but to hear Sam Snead say, the kid's got it, made me feel so good. Sweet swinging, Sammy Snead, an absolutely amazing golfer.